His hand was warm. That simple touch, the warmth of another person's skin, was enough to nearly break me. It had been so long since I'd felt anything like it. My mind struggled to accept it was even real. I was terrified. Terrified that if I so much as blinked, he would vanish, just like everything else. Another memory I had traded away for money. I turned to the genie, who looked smaller now, diminished. His once booming voice was barely a whisper, no longer echoing in the vast space he had created. "What happens if I stay?" I asked, my voice trembling. "You remain human," he said simply, "and you lose everything you gained." As he spoke, the vault from my dreams materialized around us. It was a dizzying, endless space filled with countless screens. Rivers of numbers, green and glowing, flowed upward into nothingness. These were my riches, my empire built on forgotten connections. I could feel them pulling at me, a powerful, seductive force, begging me to let go of this boy, this one last human connection. And if I let him forget, I whispered, already knowing the answer. The genie didn't need to say anything. The silence was heavier than any word he could have spoken. The choice was clear. Just then, the boy squeezed my hand. "Mister?" he said, his voice small and innocent. "You look sad." A soft, broken laugh escaped my lips. "I made a bad wish," I told him. He just nodded, as if that was the most logical thing in the world. "So fix it," he said with the simple, profound wisdom only a child possesses. The genie seemed to step back, giving me space, as if he were just an observer to this final, pivotal moment. "If he remembers you," the genie clarified, his voice regaining a sliver of its former power, "your wealth will drain back into the world. Every single cent will vanish. Your name will return to you, but you will be ordinary, forgotten by history, remembered only by those who choose to remember you." Ordinary. The word felt heavier, more substantial than all the gold in the world. I looked out through the glass walls of the phantom vault at the glittering skyline. I'd owned that city once. I had controlled its every pulse, its every transaction, without anyone ever knowing my name. But I had never truly belonged to it. I was a ghost haunting my own kingdom. I turned back to the boy, his small hand still holding mine, a warm anchor in a cold, digital sea. "I choose him," I said, my voice firm. The reaction was immediate and violent. The numbers on the endless screens screamed, a digital shriek of loss and fury. The vault around us shattered into a million pieces of light. The money, my vast, unimaginable fortune, vanished like smoke sucked into an endless sky. The towers I owned, symbols of my power, blinked out of my possession on the skyline. Bank accounts, once overflowing, collapsed to zero, and the genie screamed. It wasn't a scream of anger or pain, but of pure, unadulterated relief. His form, once so solid and imposing, broke apart. The blue smoke that comprised him unraveled, drifting into the air like a sigh. "Thank you," his voice echoed as he faded away. "My burden is finished." The ancient lamp, the source of it all, cracked down the middle. Then it too disappeared. The world settled back into normalcy. We were standing on a quiet street corner. The boy blinked, looking up at me with concern. "Are you okay?" he asked. I took a deep breath. For the first time in what felt like a lifetime, I felt something solid settle inside my chest. Something real. "Yes," I said, a genuine smile spreading across my face. "I think I am." The days that followed were small and beautiful. I found myself in a tiny apartment with a comfortable, worn-out armchair. I got a modest job, the kind where you know your co-workers' names and what they did over the weekend. My name, once erased from existence, was back. It existed in public records, on a driver's license, in the memories of people I loved. My mother called me. We cried. My friends remembered my terrible laugh and the stupid jokes I used to tell. No one knew what I had been, the invisible king of the world. And that was the whole point. I was no longer an idea, a concept of wealth. I was a person again. Sometimes, though, I still feel it, a flicker of the old magic. It happens when I help someone without expecting anything in return. When I take the time to truly listen to a friend's problems. It's a feeling I get when I'm remembered, not by the world, not by history books, but by a single person. And every now and then, I'll be walking down the street and catch a reflection in a shop window that isn't quite mine. It's just a fleeting glimpse of blue smoke, a tired but peaceful smile. A genie, finally free. So if you ever find an old lamp polished and forgotten, be careful. Think long and hard before you speak. Because the greatest magic in the universe isn't limitless wealth or eternal power or a name that echoes through history. The real magic is being chosen, being remembered. It's the warmth of a hand holding yours in the dark. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more tales that explore the magic in our ordinary lives. See you next time.